yesterday, and she said that she was laughing her head off when you said talking about what's that pop star, famous one who goes out with the American footballer.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. She said when it's just hilarious when you mention Taylor Swift. She's going. Colm may obviously have some idea of it, but she goes
Of Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Of anyone in the zeitgeist.
Have you listened to Life of Showgirl?
Very good.
Yeah, it is.
I like Wood.
The new album.
Morning. It's great. It's all about a boner.
Do you know what's really good as well?
That is about a boner.
The new Mariah Carey album. I swear to God, I'm a big fan of Mariah Carey, but her new album is really good.
I think we need to start on that.
It's as good as the Emancipation of Mimi.
About that, I can't believe you.
That iconic album that she released.
Same parents, different timelines, and united by chaos. Strap on, strap in, for the not-so-Christian brothers.
I like Mariah Carey.
So sorry, Colm, okay. I would agree with you on that.
What did you say?
Colm is
like Mariah Carey's breasts.
I don't know if they're real. I've seen them move in opposite directions.
Colm is a pretty prolific broadcaster, and you just announced, you've been DJing for your
DJing and broadcasting.
And you just said one of your favourite albums of the moment is Mariah Carey's, but I thought you were having an episode, but you're not.
Okay, hang on a second.
Don't do that with your hand.
Okay, yeah. Have you listened to the Emancipation of Mimi, the album that she released? The one that is like an iconic R&B album. It's absolutely amazing, right? Okay, the next couple of albums were trash. She hasn't done an album in 15, 16 years. This album, she's really found herself again. I mean, she's just such an amazing small person.
There is just one.
This is not, what is this? No.
That's what she literally sings that, and I'm like, it's Christmas.
No, move away from that.
Yeah.
She wrote that. Move away from that.
She wrote that. Her royalties must be. Do you know what I love about her? She said recently in an interview that she doesn't believe in time, that she thinks it has no context, so she doesn't have a watch. And she.
But I mean, what is it? If you write a Christmas song,
I'm like that, right?
If you write a Christmas song, then you can't be a serious artist.
It's nice.
What?
If you write a Christmas song, you can't be a serious artist. Tell that to Shakin' Stevens.
Okay, listen to me, Bucko.
Or the Pogues.
Or Hugh Grant in Man and... What was it?
Mad About the Boy. Mad About the Boy, yeah. Or Love Actually.
Yeah.
Bill Nye, yeah.
True.
Listen, if we do an Not So Christian Brothers Christmas song, right, and it does well, we can retire.
That's it. We're done. We're closing up shop. Well, welcome to the after show this Sunday morning. Lazy Sunday. I'm Rebecca Horan, joined by Justin Caffrey and the beautiful Colm Hayes over here.
We are brothers.
Angry. He's grieving at the moment, but he's bringing some spice, which is good. I was listening to the show on Thursday, and I laughed a lot, but I was also like, this is meant to be a really serious topic. Forgiveness. You're just not for forgiving.
No, I'm not. Justin is, but I just think there are certain levels of certain things that are done to you in life, and I think if you this is going to be controversial, especially the way you think about life. I think if you forgive in certain ways and certain things that are done to you, it's a sign of your own personal weakness.
Oh,
I think hanging on to that anger and ensuring that nothing like that happens again, you get greater resolve and you're a stronger.
Does it mean it never happens to you again?
That
as well?
sounds like something that Donald Trump would say. So yeah,
I've no problem with Donald Trump. 800 million people voted for him.
Or Benny, as you
Benny. I have a problem with Benny.
I can't believe you said Benny.
Benny and the Nahoos.
But
no, I'm just saying. If certain,
but if you've been burnt, if someone has burnt you in love or in life or in career, right? What you're saying is when you hold on to that anger, it will not happen again, which is not true because life just continues to always serve something. So what Justin kind of was saying is it damages you and your little soul in life to keep it. You're saying, no, it propels you forward.
The anger makes me grow stronger.
So you're like Benny. You're pretty much the same.
Hang on, Benny's gone and done, and can we call him Benjamin Netanyahu? Because I keep thinking we're talking about the fourth member of ABBA, right? So that is different. He propels himself further for genocide. I'm not talking about genocide.
So what's propelling you?
I'm talking about if something's dissed me really, really bad and in a really nasty way, right? I cannot forgive them.
Okay.
Right? Let's say in business or in finance. And there's a couple of people that Justin knows at the moment. And I will never forgive them for what they did. I'm sorry. I'm not going to.
But what does that mean for you?
Make sure it's not going to damn happen to me again. I'm not going to be a sucker.
But the point is,
that's interesting,
is to live and learn. So if somebody comes along and they wrong me, and then I go, okay, I lend, Terry 500 quid. And he doesn't pay me back. Don't get any ideas, Terry.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't get any ideas.
This is the place.
It's hypothetical, Terry.
Now I could, through that realization, then Terry not paying me back, I will go. I'm not gonna lend Terry money again because he's not good for paying me
That's
back.
a learning.
It's a learning. I'm
But
not.
you've forgiven him for not paying you back.
Yeah, of course I have. Because what's the point? I'm not going to waste real estate in my head on Terry. And also, if I don't, then if Rebecca comes along and says she wants to borrow 500 quid,
You're going to be pissy for
I'm
life.
going to be so pissy because of Terry.
Yeah. Oh, that's
They'll actually stop
interesting.
transacting in my life.
Okay, so
No, that's like love. Like if someone wrongs you in love,
Can I-
what
You have to
Justin's
forgive.
point is,
No.
if I keep pissing us about Brian, I will never be open to love.
Okay, Justin.
Correct.
See, now you're...
Justin, Rebecca, no, because I want to take it further.
That's actually interesting.
Rebecca takes 500 quid off you. She says, grand. And you're going, it's okay, Rebecca, I trust you. Terry didn't give me the money, but Rebecca will.
Yeah.
Rebecca doesn't give you the money.
Then what?
Then
Then I learned that maybe I shouldn't be in the lending business.
you're 500 euros down. I could have told you that from Terry.
But you only really truly learn as experiencing it yourself. And I think the point is, and to go to your point, Rebecca, I think so much of where people struggle to try and meet the next person in their life is because they're trapped with the sins of the last person that they met. And then they try and persecute the future relationship based on the thing that they didn't forgive from the past. So eventually, through restoration and forgiveness, you move on. And I think that's a clanger. I'll give you a context scenario that my wife was definitely at the forefront of teaching me this. If I go back 10 years ago, I literally had a file where I would have details on people where I go, I'm going to get that mother flupper in the future.
You were the Gestapo.
I was the Gestapo, right? So in a business context, I think that person's done me over and got your card marked, right? And it was a very unpleasant way to live my life. And when I went into therapy was the critical moment where I started to learn to reconcile with my ledger of life and start to forgive people who had hurt me, right? But at about the same time, we had a lawyer in Madrid who had contacted us on the back of the malpractice to do with the hospital where our son was born. And he said, you've a phenomenal case. Because they made multiple mistakes when Beatrice was admitted to hospital. It's all documented. They used the wrong scanner and they're to blame. And ultimately your son's dead because of these individuals and the mistakes that they made. And we had that file. And then the lawyer retrieved all of our medical records from the hospital. And I'm reading this stuff and I'm thinking, my God, this is like a smoking gun. They have just made a balls of this all the way through. And ultimately, they killed my kid, right? And I said to Beatrice, we should take some action here. And she said, well, so what? We get like £1 million compensation. Josh was still dead. And how does that move us forward? We have to go into the dock. We have to go through all the problems. You know, they're a hospital. They're folks who made mistakes. I've forgiven them.
Oh, see,
now
is
she
there not
said forgiven them. I haven't
accountability?
forgiven them at that point.
Yeah, but is there
She's
not
saying-
accountability? Those people absolutely had to be brought.
You're talking about justice and accountability. He's talking about holding you back.
No, but I know, but I'm sorry. I would be, if I didn't make them accountable, forget the money. I don't care about the money. But if I didn't have my day in court to make them accountable, to stand up and look me in the eye and say, we are so sorry. We are directly responsible for killing your son. If I didn't get that moment, I wouldn't be able to forgive, and I wouldn't be. It would sit with me forever.
Well, it would sit with you because it would generally sit with you about 5 years as you go through a legal process. And
I know.
And in that time, you're not living your life. And I have another child.
Yeah.
I have another part of my life. And I just think, I don't want to waste my time.
I don't think
with
that's
other people's
wasting your
problems.
time.
Well, but that's where we disagree.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just
You're
saying
talking about the holding you back.
I don't
and
think it's wasting your time.
In grief and in
I think
relationships,
if I was in that position and I didn't get that accountability, I wouldn't be able to move forward. 5, 10, 15, 20 years, I'd still be sitting here thinking, why didn't I do something about it? Why didn't I make those
But
people
how is
accountable?
that giving you contentment?
Because somebody actually tells me that they were responsible for that.
Do you think anger
They did
drives success, though? Do you think also having that little stir in your belly, someone has wronged you in a job or they fucked you over or you fall out with people in work and you move on and all the things, or someone has hurt you, right? Because I was talking about hurt the other day with you. can it kind of make you go, fuck, I'm gonna show them? Like, or does it actually make you just tired and you go, I just want a nap? Or does it make you more sick? Because you're talking about some of the fuckers in business. Surely that was like,
I think.
or were you doing it for Beatrice and Luke?
I think there's different ways to manage it, right? Anytime I'm ever involved in a new business or a new entity, I always know there's the moment when somebody's going to come along and they tell me this is never going to work. And
Oh,
you're wasting your time, right? Because then I always mark the calendar and I go, great, you always come. So the soothsayer always arrives at a point where the universe wants me to get off this train. So I mark that moment and I go, it's you. And now I've created the foil. So I now hold them up and I think, that's who I'm just going to prove wrong. And I'll make a success of this.
Yeah.
But it's not through anger. It's actually through the examination of the inner child in me that still feels like he's been told you're not good enough in school.
it's to prove.
So
But that makes you feel
use
that
it
makes you
as
feel
not
angry.
good enough soup and help it motivate you to move forward. But don't do it with
I
anger.
love a bit
No,
of
no,
not good
but
enough soup.
the inner child in you that was told you were never going to achieve, that made you feel angry that somebody said that to you. It is a sort of anger.
Not
I think
angry.
it is.
Not
I mean, I know that if something happens in work or business,
Just for clarity,
Mm.
I know how I feel. I know that
Oh, no,
you
no,
want
but-
to tell me that you know how I feel.
Trust me,
But I actually do know how I feel.
no, I don't
You
think
guys
you do.
twins, don't you feel
I-
the same?
I don't think you do. I think you're reading too many of those. You're reading too many of those crazy books. Look,
But people, I love
You're here to help me know how I feel.
Terry.
Actually,
Terry, give
therapist. I love when people underestimate you. I think it's one of the biggest driving forces. Like when someone has gone, I can't believe you did that. I'm like, but I don't feel anger. I'm just like, you know what? Like I feel a bit like that about a certain human in my life at the moment where I'm like, I cannot wait to show them how I've made it through life. You know, because they're quite mean to me all of the time for
They've made you feel
about
angry.
4 or 5 years. They've been quite mean, a little bit bullying, if I'm going to be honest. And actually, at the moment, instead of it making me sad, it was making me really sad. Like I would think about it at night. She in a bit of a vibe at the moment. Where like, I can't wait to do this and be triumphant, but not angry, Colm. It was.
Okay,
It made me
okay.
sad. I'm probably more emotional than I am angry, right? But it made me sad.
But
And
I also
don't
think
want
you
that.
have to kind of test the nature of that behavior, right? Because if it's kind of insidious and it's kind of dark, then I also think
That's
that's just, screw those people. They're not going to be good
And
in,
it's not
your,
worth it.
in
Yeah.
your life. So I think there's that separation piece. But I don't feel angry about that stuff. I really don't.
Yeah.
I did when I was younger. I was angry when I was younger. No question.
I
about it.
make
Should I talk about
myself.
Mariah Carey
I
again?
make myself angry when
You
I
don't
need.
need to work hard on it.
No,
at
I
the
don't.
moment.
It's like it's just a tiny turn to the.
I mean,
back.
like the
saw him getting-
entire audience
I
of
saw
Joe
him getting
Duffy for the
angry
last two
with someone on
episodes.
a radio station once, and I was kind of like, wow, I've never seen, because you and I have always had quite a like buoyant relationship and like
I got angry.
ludicrous with the person who was late for something. And
Oh,
I
yeah, yeah.
never have seen you like that. And I was like, what is going on here, daddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He does get very angry. I've seen that before, and you remind me
Exactly.
of our dad,
There
because
you
our
go.
dad was a very placid character.
Mm.
Then when he got angry, you'd be like, "Whoa!"
The lid blew
It's
up.
all red.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. Sorry, no, I do. I'm being honest, and in stuff that I've done, and when people don't do what they're meant to do, simple tasks, I get my anger drives me along to either dump them or castigate them and tell them what they should be doing and how to do it properly. But I do get driven by anger.
And in leadership, there's no better motivator than a good old castigating.
Listen,
I don't-
I've been castigated so many times.
We're here to
Yeah.
provide you with all the business tools.
No, just to be
Actually,
clear,
this is more of a business podcast.
castigating is not castration.
Are you looking into what camera are you
It's a
looking into?
little bit different.
Looking at his camera too.
I'm looking
The
at that.
education system thing is so funny for me as well.
Oh yeah, go on.
As it's Sunday, we're all thinking about the week ahead, and people get the Sunday fears and the Sunday scaries. The education system, everyone always thinks is rolled up in Glenroe, but for me, it was 100%. What school did you go to? Did you go to Wesley? Did you date a guy who played rugby? What school? Like, because I was in such a heart of South Dublin schooling that literally it didn't leave me till I was 38, and I went to someone one day, why do you care what school I went to? I'm now 42 and I literally couldn't care. But there was a lot of it, you go into a job, I was in news reading and journal. It was always like, well, so pathetic.
But I mean, I remember when my kids were in school, there was things about Alex would go, oh no, we wouldn't talk. They're donkey girls. We don't hang out with the donkey. And like the entire college, the entire school was painted with the donkey girls. And then you'd hear Holly would say, no, when we go out to like Wes or whatever, you'd never go near the Black Rock Boys. they're just too posh. They think they're great. So an entire school was then painted. The Blackrock boys, the Wesley
The Rock
girls,
Boys.
the Dalkey girl. You know what I mean? So
And I was in a Proddy school. Can you only imagine
yeah,
what it would have been
yeah.
me, Justin Caffrey? Can you only imagine?
I've only ever dated Protestants.
Okay,
Oh, have you?
well, that's true. You've got a German wife, but like
Yeah.
you know, skirts
But
too
if you never
short.
dated a Catholic girl.
I think I was about 19 when I dated her, and there was just not a lot of action. So
What
I
is
found
it?
out Proddies were up for it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're more liberated, aren't they? Yeah, see? Yeah.
Oh my god!
Hold on, Terry lived up north for 5 years.
Yeah.
You're all riding up there, apparently.
Well, you guys went on a dinner date with condoms. You know what I mean? So,
That you just said at 19 you did for one was lovely, but there was not much. I can't believe you just said that. Is there more repression?
Oh,
or
there's
more-
completely.
Catholic
I think,
guilt, yeah.
I think
Jesus.
Catholics are repressed massively. Like I always remember going to London at 19, and one of the first things I noticed walking down the street was that people seemed to be looking up and around, whereas Ireland in the 90s and 80s, people were like still kind of doffing their caps.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
yeah.
it's a very different approach. But you know, it was something that you said there, which is funny, right? And to go back to topic, but not get into education, because I do find that it's getting a bit boring, right? But this whole idea of that Sunday feeling, right? And I'm currently involved in a business transaction at the moment, and it's like full on, and I'm like, oh my God. And it was like I had a really nice Sunday night, and I actually had that sense of, you know when it was like you remember
Yeah.
on a Sunday night that you haven't done your homework yet.
Getting your uniform out of your parents are in a
Yeah.
pizza. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
Oh, fuck the
job
dress.
is tomorrow.
That's why I always think people should move on from a job. Not from that, because that's you're just in the middle of something. But when you're actually
Oh, I
fearful
think
of your
you need to-
Monday
you
morning.
need to quit
Do
your
you
job.
think, do you
Only
think, do you
relationship.
think
but-
Trump is in the changing room with Mar-a-Lago after a game of golf on a Sunday evening going, oh, God, to go back to the White House tomorrow and talk to Benny and the Jets?
Sorry, do you think he thinks?
Of course he thinks, yeah. Maybe
But-
he doesn't think the way you think. Of course he thinks.
But by the
He's a very
way,
clever man.
to be controversial,
Yeah.
I know.
to be
I don't
controversial-
support him, but he's a very clever man.
To be controversial,
Okay.
he has actually, for the first time in American presidential history, created an ability to bring the Israelis to heel in the context of a peace treaty.
All of him.
No president has ever achieved that before.
Yeah, but it's about money. I mean, if he does with the Middle East what he's doing, then I mean, we have to doff our caps, don't we? Is there a drink, by the way? I thought this meant to be the after show.
Everything is about money, of course, right? But I do think
Money
that,
and
you know,
sex.
you have to take your hat off to him, because I do think he'll get the Nobel Peace Prize next year.
I think,
Oh, I'd be so
I think, and I think when they open up the Trump casino in Gaza, the Gaza Trump casino, I'd like to be there and do a gig. Because that's what all
You're looking for embassy gigs at the moment, aren't you?
property in Gaza now is
You
all
and
going
Benny.
to be Trump's.
Book him here at christianbrothers.com. Well, like, subscribe, share, engage in this episode. We are back Thursdays and Sundays every week. It is, of course, just me as a rando, but Justin Caffrey and Colm Hayes. That is the
We are
after show. I
brothers.
need a coffee.
We need to talk about that.